All right, so we'll get started in just a minute. I have my giant, it's like a bowl of tea. It's like the biggest cup on planet Earth. It has a boat on it. I think, can you see that, Duncan? It's kind of hard to see. Okay. So we're going to start in child's pose. So you're going to bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, arms out in front. And if you feel your head is hanging, go ahead and take one fist on top of the other and rest your forehead. Or take a block or a pillow or a book and put it underneath your forehead. So starting off in this easy child's pose. If your shoulders feel really tight this morning, let your arms go out wide, nice wide V. You can always also bend your elbows to feel that release in your upper back. And just slowly begin to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Know that if at any point this posture bothers you, you can lift your hips up higher to relax the flex of your knees. So right now you're just allowing your body time to be still in this one particular shape. Beginning to breathe into the space of your lower back. Right at the top of your pants or your shorts. Feel free to even imagine a balloon there. Seeing it inflate as you inhale. Seeing it deflate as you exhale. And work with that breath in the nose and out the mouth to start this morning. First, just sending your concentration to the lower back. Nice and easy. Knowing at times you might bump up against edges of discomfort. And that's where you really use the breath to stay focused and to breathe with the sensations that arise. Relax your shoulders. Let them feel heavier towards the floor. Let your forehead and the front of your brain feel heavier wherever they're resting. Begin to move your awareness from your lower back to your middle back, right at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, those lower ribs. Maybe you feel yourself expand a little right to left as you inhale on your back body. Or maybe you stay with that visual of a balloon. Now working your attention, your awareness, and your breath at your middle back. And a lot of the time we can feel tension at the lower back or at the neck region of the spine, the cervical spine, but we forget about this middle portion. Close to where your diaphragm is. We're here mainly focusing on the back of your body. 3 more breaths. One more. And then letting your attention move up towards your neck. That vertebrae that helps hold up the weight of your skull, your head, and your brain. And since the vertebrae and the discs are smaller here, you may not detect as much movement breath-wise in the neck. Just make sure your neck is supported. Just trying to shift your attention to this space. Breathing in the nose, out your mouth. Two more breaths here. Again, accepting stillness, focusing on your breath. And then see if you can feel the entirety of your spine, from the neck down to the tailbone, and from your tailbone back up to your neck. And see if you can trace that energetically and physically, again, from the neck down to the tailbone, and the tailbone to the middle back, back up to the neck. Do that one more time. You can even think about kind of painting a line up and down your spine. If you have anything under your forehead, hands or blocks or props, move them off to the side. Go ahead and walk your hands as far over to the left as you can take, still in child's pose, but if your knees are talking to you in a not so nice manner, lift your hips up. So you're walking your hands as far over to the left as you can, feeling some lateral movement in your spine. Go ahead and keep your head picked up off the ground, ears between your biceps. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice how it feels asymmetrical in your body. So you're using your breath to let you feel more balanced. One more inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back to center and then up and over to that right side. Again, feel free to lift up your hips as much as you need. Keep your head lifted, ears between your upper arms. Maybe inching your arms over just a little farther. Still in this child's pose. Relax through your jaw. Maybe the breath becomes more expansive, longer on your in-breath and longer on your out-breath. One more inhale. Exhale, bring it to center. Pull yourself into tabletop, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. I'll turn to the side so you can see a little better. Keep your left hand under your shoulder. Reach your right arm out to the side, up and open, preparing for a twist. And then exhale, thread your arm underneath, come onto your right shoulder and reach down. And we're gonna make it dynamic. Inhale, up and open, lifting your right arm. Exhale, threading underneath. So continue, up and open on your inhale. Knees can still be in that tabletop position or a little wider. You just wanna make sure that you open up on your in-breath and that you twist down as you exhale. And your left arm is there for support, but don't put all your body weight onto your left shoulder. We're just trying to get a little bit more awareness and more of an awake quality in the spine. So twisting is a nice way to gently release any tension, any holding, any tightness, so you feel a little freer in your whole body. Last one. This time you're gonna hold it down in the twisted position. So you're reaching your arm underneath, coming onto your right ear. Really reach your right fingers away from your face. There you go. And you're gonna feel that right shoulder blade moving away from your upper middle back. And it might feel mild, it might feel spicy, it might feel really intense, it might feel just so-so. However it feels for you this morning, make sure you breathe. Relax your jaw, heavy in your jaw, tongue, chin even. Last breath in, huge breath out. Left hand plants down, bring your hands back and move to the other side. This time, right hand stays under your shoulder, left arm out and up, open up, and then exhale, thread it underneath. Inhale, you're gonna open it up, and then exhale, thread it underneath. So continue just like you did with the first side. Exhale, sliding it underneath. I like to cross my ankles here so my feet don't fly up, but you can just keep the tops of the feet pressing onto the earth. This does not need to be quick. Again, we're trying to wake up through the spine, not trying to crack any joints, but if you get any of those snap, crackle, pops, that's normal as long as it doesn't hurt. Try to slow the last two down. Really long, expansive inhale. Yeah, there we go. Exhale, threading it down. One more up and open. And exhale, thread it through. Stay down this time. Reaching your left fingers away from your face, feeling your left shoulder blade gently pull away from your middle upper back. Feeling your breath help you soften into this shape, into this space. And again, if you feel any of that snap, crackle, pop happening, as long as there's not a lightning bolt of pain coming with it, you can just let that sensation pass. Last two breaths. I want you to complete the breath, so take the inhale and the exhale. Come back up, tabletop all fours. Again, I'm just gonna show you from the side. You're gonna take cat-cow, but only in your upper back and shoulder blades. So your heart pulls down, squeeze your shoulder blades, you puff your shoulder blades and push the floor away. So it's just your upper back, right? We're not moving the whole cat-cow. You're squeezing your shoulder blades and then pushing the floor away, rounding through your upper back. Try not even to move your neck. Elbows stay straight. There you go. Still in that tabletop position, make sure your hands aren't too far back behind your shoulders. You want your shoulders, elbows, and wrists stacked in the same vertical line, right? We're moving into the upper back, this tight space, especially for my cycling friends. When you're on the bike, riding, this spot can get really filled with a lot of muscle tension and tightness. So a few more, just squeezing your shoulder blades, heart coming down, exhale, puffing and rounding. Again, we're just trying to isolate the shoulder blades, the upper back. Last two, relax your jaw. And then come to a neutral position with your spine. Now, moving the whole spine, tip your tailbone back, drop your belly, chin forward, eyes high to the sky. Exhale, tuck your tailbone around your back, shoulder blades, slowly tuck your head. Start from your tailbone, moving back, belly down, chin forward, eyes up. From your tailbone, tuck first, round your middle back, your shoulders, tuck your chin, and continue a few times. Just good old cat-cow, moving into all the vertebrae of your back. Feel free, if this bothers your wrist, to take your hands into fist, knuckle side, ring side down. That'll put your wrists in a more neutral position if you're feeling some holding there. Again, try and move this cat-cow from your tailbone. So it starts and ends at your tailbone. Last one. Bring yourself into neutral tabletop, elbows down to your mat, down to the floor. Walk your legs back. A nice dolphin plank. So forearm plank, elbows underneath your shoulders, eyes forward. No need to look back at your feet. Keep your feet enough distance far apart that you can support your frame. Right away, feel the heat. Breathe deep, breathe nice and clear. You can still inhale through your nose, exhale out of your mouth. Try not to have your bum up really high or your hips sagging low. You want to have a nice level body, nice level spine, nice level back, nice level legs. One more breath in. Exhale, bring your knees down. Bring your quadriceps down, your hips down. Come into Sphinx pose. So you're basically on your belly, but your elbows, let me turn to the side for you guys, are right underneath your shoulders again. Just like the cats in front of the pyramids, legs straight behind. And then I want you to push the floor away with your forearms, lift your chest, good, and then squeeze your shoulder blades again. So you're trying to pull your heart forward. You can have your legs wider if that feels better on your lower back, or legs closer together. Really trying to open up your chest, your collarbones, smile a little bit. You don't have to. Just a suggestion. Everything is just a suggestion. Notice if you're doing this, right? If you're kind of dumping and rounding forward, really use your forearms, press the ground away. That's the first point, and then hug your elbows back, chest up nice and high. 3 more breaths. Chin should be parallel to the floor, so try not to look at the screen the whole time. Relax through your jaw. Good, 1 more breath in. Exhale, come all the way down. Forehead to the floor, hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows into the side. Now lift your chest, lift your head. Stay looking at the floor, low cobra, and exhale, release. Now you're trying to really wake up your back muscles. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, release. Using dynamic movement. Inhale, lifting. Don't put any pressure in your hands. Exhale, lowering. 1 more. Inhale, lift, hold. Don't hold your breath. 3 inhales, 3 exhales here. Keep squeezing your elbows in towards your sides. Yep, keep your gaze down at the floor. Can you lift a hair higher? And exhale, lower down. Whew. We're going back to forearm plank, elbows underneath you, toes tucked under, lift. Again, don't stink bug your butt. Try to keep yourself nice and level, toes tucked under, eyes are forward, keep breathing. You've got 5 rounds of breath here. So we're trying to find this nice balance of effort with the plank, right? Awakening through your core, stabilizing. Planks are really great for that. You don't have to do a million crunches every day. You can just do some good planks. It awakens at your center, strengthens your bones. But also we're trying to keep that openness in your chest. So notice if you're dumping and rounding in your shoulders and your upper back, or if you're clenching your jaw. 1 more breath in. Exhale, knees down, quads down, hips down, return to Sphinx pose. Chest lifted. So same sensation. Push your forearms into the floor. Hug your elbows back. Lift your heart as high as you can. If you feel a lot of tension in your lower back, right, if it's kind of screaming at you, we don't want to do that. So you can come back down onto your forehead and lift into baby cobra instead. So either baby cobra or Sphinx pose. This is a nice way to open the chest. It's okay to have a little bit of compression at your lower spine, but nothing excessive. We're not looking for extremes in yoga. We're looking for the middle. 1 more breath in. Push the floor away with your forearms. Hug your elbows back. Exhale, lower down. 5 rounds of cobra. Hands right underneath your armpits. Elbows in. Inhale, lift. Look down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And your pace of inhale and exhale. Lower down. Rise as you breathe in. Lower as you breathe out. 2 to go. Again, if you feel a lot at your back, exhale, lower. It's because we're not used to using our back muscles as much. All right, forearm plank. Let's revisit it. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Just level. Eyes are forward. You can have your hands together in prayer. You can clasp your fingers, or you can take your fingers straight ahead. Keep breathing. And I want you to find that same sensation of your forearms pressing down into the floor, but also hug your elbows back towards your toes. It's really going to help find this nice control and stabilization at your belly. Ready, Joe? Lift your hips just a tad. There you go. All right. Last 2 breaths. I know it's a lot. 1 more inhale. Exhale, knees down, quads down, hips down, chest up, Sphinx pose. And then right back into forearm plank. Tuck your toes, lift your hip bones, your quads, your knees, and find yourself in forearm plank. And then come down, knees, quadriceps, hip bones, chest up, Sphinx. And you're going to take that roll up, rounding through your middle back, lifting your quads, your knees, forearm plank. Hold it an extra breath, and then descend from your knees, your quads, your hips, very low ribs, Sphinx pose. Exhale, ribs in, hips up, quads up, thighs up, knees up. 2 more, knees, quads, hips, lift, chin parallel to the floor. Good. Exhale, 5 breaths back in forearm plank. Don't worry, we're not going to do this the whole hour, unless you really want to. Because you can always deviate and do what you need to do for your practice. Last 2 breaths, energy in your legs. This shouldn't all be in your shoulders. 1 more breath in. Knees down. Replace your hands where your elbows are. Come into tabletop. Woo, good job, everyone. From tabletop, preparing for your first downward dog. Toes tucked under. Lift your knees an inch. Hover your table. And then lift your hips up and back. So you're in an inverted V. Drop your head down. Knees have a bend, but elbows are straight. Head should be heavy. Look between your feet. And again, if you're feeling a lot of tightness in your upper back, wider stance with your hands. If you feel intense and too much compression at your lower spine, wider on your feet. You can take up the widest amount of space that you need on the mat side to side. So just a nice wide downward facing dog. Know that child's pose, our first posture, is always available. Good, 1 more breath in. Exhale, knees down, sit back to child's pose. 2 breaths. You can stack your forearms, rest your forehead there. Breathe into the stickiest spot in your spine. Good. Inhale, tabletop. Step your left foot up between your hands. You're going to walk your left foot to the long edge of your mat. So you want to be a little bit wider in this space. Hands come on the inside of your left foot. Right toes tuck under. Lift your right knee. So you're in this wider lunge position. And then your hands go to the top right corner of your mat. So your lower body is in a runner's lunge. Your upper body is in a downward facing dog off to the side. This is called the lunge dog. So your lower body's a lunge, straight from the side, upper body off to a diagonal in downward facing dog. Back leg is energized. You can always bring your back knee down. Lunge dog. Try to keep your front knee stacked right atop your ankle. Good. Keep reaching. Betty Jo, reach a little bit more to the corner of your mat instead of to the side. So right here. Yeah. Keep both arms this way. There you go. My mom's over in the corner doing yoga too. She's my live student. You guys are all alive too. I know. 1 more breath in. Exhale, walk your hands back to center. Bring your right knee down. Keep your legs a little wider. Come up, arms towards the ceiling. Low runner's lunge. Check that your front knee is not moving too far out to the side or too far in. Wider with your arms. Lift into your chest. Big breath. Exhale, bend your elbows. Even more opening through your collarbones. Press your elbows back. Feel your shoulder blades move towards your upper middle spine. Good. Exhale, hands down by your hips, shift back, half splits. Try to keep your chest lifted. So your front leg is straight. Left toes up towards the ceiling. You should feel it in the back of your left leg. Deep breath. Good. Inhale, walk it forward. Return to lunge dog. So hands on the inside of your left foot. Right knee lifts. Walk your hands to that top right corner of your mat, off to the side. Lower body is in a lunge. Upper body is in downward facing dog. Breath is in and out. Again, option to put the back knee down. Keep attention that your left knee is stacked in the same vertical line as your left ankle. That's really important. And try to enjoy it. Even if the sensation is intense, 1 more breath in. Exhale, walk your hands back in and under your shoulders. Slight bend in your right knee. Take a couple steps up so you get to the top of your mat and hang over your legs, wide-legged forward fold. Exhale. Opposite hand, opposite elbow. So you're just taking that hold. Feet are wide. If you need a little shake through your head or a little shake through your lower back, go for it. Again, if your hamstrings are talking to you, bend your knees. That's the magic trick. If your lower back is trying to talk to you a little loudly, widen your feet. One more breath in. Exhale, release your hands. Keep your right foot at the top of the mat. Take your left foot to the back. Coming into that wider lunge. So walk your right foot to the long edge of your mat. Option to have your left knee up or left knee down. Walk your hands over to the side. Lunge dog, second side, first time. Pay attention to your knee. Again, back knee absolutely can be down. You're going to get just as much benefit out of this posture if your back knee is down as if it's up. Good. Really make sure your knee isn't falling in or out of the midline. Stack it right in between. Your head can be relaxed, but try not to drop your neck too much. You want to have some energy to keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Energy to breathe in and out. One more inhale. Good. Exhale, walk your hands back in and underneath your shoulder, left knee down. Slowly bring yourself up, low runner's lunge, arms out to a nice wide V. Take a look at your left knee, or excuse me, your right knee should be stacked right above your ankle. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Notice if you're keeping your shoulders really close to your ears, you want to drop them down, have a lot of space for your neck. So you might even need to drop your elbows farther down to do that. And then press your forearms and elbows back. There we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands down by your side. Straighten your front leg, shift your hips back, half split. Right toes up to the ceiling. No need to put your chest down towards your left. You can stay up nice and high. You're just trying to breathe into the back of the right leg. Again, each side is different. Each day is different. Pay attention with your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, return to that lunge position. Hands on the inside of your right foot. Left toes tuck, left knee lifts. Rock your upper body down and over to the side. So you're in lunge dog one more time on this side. Back knee, your choice if it's up, if it's down. Both are great. So far, you guys are doing a nice job of stacking your knee directly over your ankle of your front leg. Woo. Again, notice if your shoulder blades, your shoulders, your deltoids are getting really close to your ears. Make some space for your neck. Last breath in. Exhale, walk your hands back to center. Bend through your back knee a couple steps up. Get back to that wide forward fold towards the top edge of your mat. Hang it down. Now is a good place to measure. Bring your hands together in two fists. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your knuckles to the floor. I want your feet to be 2 fist width distance apart. Measure it out. There we go. So that's about your inner hips width distance. It's just an approximation. Bring your hands up on your thighs above your kneecaps. Inhale, lift up halfway. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms out. Slight bend in your knees. Come all the way up to stand. Good. And then exhale, dive it down. Bend your knees like you're swan diving into a pool. Inhale, come up halfway, hands above your kneecaps. Good. Exhale, hands at the top of your mat, feet at the back, full high plank position, eyes forward. Breathe in. Exhale, lower your knees. This time you're going to let your hips drop down, lift your chest, upward dog. Your knees and thighs lift up off the ground. If this bothers you, you slowly come down and go into low cobra. 2 breaths wherever you are, upward dog or low cobra, chest up. Good. From low cobra, you can go through child's pose. From upward dog, roll over your feet, lift your hips, downward dog. Bend your knees. Big breath out. Inhale, more bend in your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet up to your hands. Take as many steps as you need. Hang down. Inhale, come up halfway. Think about making a table with your spine. Exhale, down. Inhale, come all the way to stand. Reach your arms out and up overhead. And then exhale, dive it back down, back to your toes. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands at the top. Step your non-dominant leg back first. Dominant leg second. High plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, knees down. You're either going to lower into your belly and take that low cobra, or let your hips sweep forward. Upward dog. Upward dog, your knees and your thighs are off the ground. Low cobra, you're not using your hands, you're using your back. One more breath in. Exhale, knees can come down. You can shift back into tabletop and then go into downward dog or roll over your feet. Just get yourself into downward dog in a safe, slow, mindful way. Press your hands down and forward. Remember, elbows are straight in downward facing dog, but your knees should have a bend. And your breath should stay center stage to everything. Inhale, more bend in your knees, look forward. Exhale, step, or you can give little hops to the top or hop and step part of the way. Fold down over your legs. Let's just hang in this forward fold. Maybe take your hands to the backs of your calves, let your head drop down. And again, the more bend in your knees, the more relaxed you'll feel in your hamstrings. And then from that relaxed place, you can slowly straighten your legs a little bit more on the in-breath, and then relax your knees again on the out-breath. Keep your head down and heavy. So in this forward fold, good, just working with the backs of the legs. Say hold or lat, you've got 5 more breaths here. Guys are doing great. I know it's a lot. Early in the mornings. Everyone's on mountain time. And again, just go to your edge. We're not trying to rip into the hamstrings. That's not nice. Just trying to gently awaken them. Good. Release your arms wherever they are. Bring your hands back up to your thighs. Inhale, come up halfway. So you want to make that 90-degree angle table with your back. Hold. Really good for your belly and your back to work together. Eyes are on the ground. Reach your arms out to the sides like wings. Watch out for anything next to you. Inhale, come up to stand, palms touch overhead. Exhale, dive it down. Bend your knees, walk it out to the side and then down. Inhale again, come up halfway. Exhale, hands at the top of the mat. Step your feet back, plank pose. We love plank pose. This time, everyone come all the way onto your belly. Get there however you'd like, just control. Arms by your sides, palms on the floor. So arms by your sides, palms on the floor, forehead on the floor. You're gonna keep your palms and your pelvis into the mat. Now, your first inhale, just lift your head 2 inches. Hold for your exhale. Your next inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades, let your chest rise up. Palms and pelvis stay on the ground. This might be the perfect place for you to take a pit stop and just breathe. Maybe you lift your legs. Maybe the lift of the legs feels aggravating today and you need to put them down. Or maybe you need to lower a little bit, still awakening through your back, but not causing any pain. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, open up through your chest and collarbones. One more breath in. Exhale, lower down. This time, take your forearms, stack them on top of each other, and rest your forehead there. This is a real pose. It's called alligator. Just letting your back come to neutral. Breathing into the sensations, letting them dissipate. Go ahead and bend your knees, flex your feet, flex your ankles. Relax your bum. And windshield wiper your feet side to side. So it's okay to want to twist after you do a chest opener, a heart opener, upper back and shoulders. But before you twist, you do want to leave that moment of neutrality for your spine. So feet windshield wipering slowly side to side. You might feel it massage your quadriceps a little bit. Good. Feet come back up towards the ceiling. Release your legs behind you. Again, legs can be close together. They can be farther apart just depending on how your back feels. Release your forearms, forehead to the floor. This time, clasp your hands, so you're holding your own hands right at your tailbone. Still on your belly. Inhale, lift your chest, reach your knuckles back towards your heels. This is another variation of a locust pose. It's awkward to breathe here. Right? Try not to look at the screen the whole time. You want your knuckles of your hands reaching back towards your heels. A lot of opening for the shoulders, the chest. Check in with your jaw. Don't lose your breath. Again, I know it's uncomfortable, but we all need more of these chest openers because modern life is looking to take our shoulders down and in with that rounding effect. So we're trying to counteract it. 2 more breaths. You got it. Slow the last one down. Exhale, release. Forearms down. Rest your forehead on your stacked forearms. Pause. Let the sensations dissolve. Bend your knees. Flex your ankles. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. So we're doing a lot of this chest, shoulder, upper back opening because it helps us get some energy. Right? And it's, even though it's a holiday, it's still a Monday, it's still early. So that's what our aim for practice is today. Good, bring your feet back up, extend your legs, hands underneath your shoulders. Now, you can press up through a plank on an exhale. You can press up to plank on your knees, or you can press through a child's pose. Exhale, downward dog. Big breath out. Bring your feet together, big toes to touch in the middle back portion of your mat. So it's just your legs are closed in this downward dog. Inhale, slowly lift your left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Right knee down. Coming back to low lunge, arms up. Nice, everybody. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift your chest. Again, elbows might need to fall lower, chest higher. Take your time with this. Take your right hand towards your right calf. Take your left arm up. You can open slightly to the side. Yeah. So you're coming into a little bit of a half camel. We don't want to tweak the lower back. So if it feels like you can drop and relax your left shoulder behind you, you can do that, or you can stay a little bit more off to the side. If your neck feels unsupported, take your left hand behind your head, hold your head, hold the weight of your skull, breathe into your right quad and hip flexor. 1 more breath in. Exhale, slowly bring yourself up, back to center. Yep, hands down. Find a moment in neutral for your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, shift back. Half splits again for your hamstring, for your calf. You can even bring your hands off the floor if you want to work a little more balance. You can put your hands on anything that's going to support you. Chair, table, wall. Ooh, breathe. Nice job, everyone. Inhale, bring your hands down, walk it forward, high runner's lunge, right knee lifts, arms lift up, so the back knee is now off the ground. There we go, find that balance. Gently bring your right hip forward, left hip back. Exhale, arms down by your sides. You can even bring your hands to your hips. Your right foot, bring it down and flat to a 45-degree angle. Inhale, straighten your front leg. So I want your feet to be on the same line, like a tightrope. You might need to bring your left foot in and then bring your right foot up about 3 inches. So shorten your stance. Take your left hand to your left shin. Right arm up, triangle. Nice. Both legs are straight. Look straight out ahead of you, so not in front of you, but just straight out where your neck is neutral. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. So you're making that triangle shape with your legs, opening up into your chest. And again, if your neck needs support, bend at your top arm and take your hand behind your head. 1 more breath in. Good. Exhale, slowly square your shoulders over your front leg. Give a moment to just hang and breathe. Good. Arms down to the floor. Spin your right heel up. Bend your right knee. Step your right foot up. and step your left foot back. We're going to go in the opposite order. So starting with triangle pose, left foot down and flat, right hand to your right shin, left arm up and open. So we're just going to go in the reverse order of these poses. So beginning with that triangle shape. Yep. So the legs are making a triangle. Leaning ever so slightly back, breathing into your rib, the one that's lifted towards the ceiling. Excellent. Feel free to support your head, bending your top arm, holding the weight of your skull so your neck doesn't feel too much tension. One more breath in. Exhale slowly. Take your shoulders, square up over and fold over your front leg and hang. 2 breaths. 2 breaths. Good. Hands come down, frame your front foot, left heel spins up, high runner's lunge. So your right foot is grounded, back leg is lifted. High runner's lunge. You want your back heel up off the ground. Yeah. Squaring up your hips so your hips are like flashlights pointing straight ahead. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to your hips. Breathe in. Exhale, left knee down to the mat. Breathe in again. Exhale, shift back, half splits, right toes up. Use the support that you need. Make sure your bottom knee is comfortable and you've got some cushion underneath it. You don't just want to be right on a hard floor. Watch your shoulders. It's easy to just drop here. I want you to keep the energy of your spine. Again, from your crown, from your cervical spine, your neck, all the way down to your tailbone. One more breath in. Exhale, plant your right foot. Come back into low lunge, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. This time it's your left hand, bring it down. You're going to reach back for your left calf. I'm going to show you from the side. So you can have that lean over to the side. And then once you feel comfortable taking your shoulders up towards the ceiling, you can take your lifted hand holding behind your head. So it's a half lunge, half camel, where you can start over towards the side. Nice. Duncan, tuck your chin a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. It sounds like everyone stopped breathing. That's what I'm feeling. Breathe. One more breath in. Exhale slowly. You can always bring your hand to your lower back, support yourself out of it. Good. Let's do just a quick half splits one more time, shifting back, straightening your front leg. Excellent, everybody. Again, that's a tough one. Whew. Bring your hands on the inside of your front foot and just sweep your knee back, tabletop. Bring your knees closer together. They don't have to touch. And then sit back into a closed child's pose. One fist on top of the other, resting your forehead there. Still breathing. Relax through your jaw. Let yourself just feel the effects so far in your practice. Again, if this is a newer practice for you, see if you can feel the sensations. Being aware of your body and the effects that you feel from it. Release your hands, come back into tabletop. Find your way back onto your belly. I'm going to show you guys from the side. You can support your head and look at the screen for a moment if you have not done bow pose before. So bow pose, bending at the knees, lifting the head. You can just reach back. You don't have to touch anything. This is bow pose. Or you can take a hold of your ankles with firm flex in your feet. I keep the pelvis and the quads down on the floor and breathing. It's like you're putting your body in a bow position, and then you release down on an exhale, one side of the face to the floor, and rest. So if you're ready, bend your knees, thighs parallel to one another. You can start with arms by your side, palms down, and just lift. Great variation. Eyes are looking towards the floor. You can reach back, maybe find one ankle or both. Try to grab underneath the feet so you can fully flex them, stabilizing your knee by flexing through your foot. And then gently kick your toes back. Press your shins into the basket of your hands. Breathe. Nice. Keep your knees towards one another. Bow pose. One more inhale. Exhale, slow release. Lower. Take one side of your face to the floor. Again, you want that moment of neutral. Letting the spine move back into its natural position. If that doesn't feel great on your body, please feel free to just come to Sphinx on your elbows and work with that. Or go bow pose one more time. Again, you can just have the arms by the side, palms to the floor, lifting, flexing through the feet, or finding your ankles. So you can fully flex through the ankles. Inhale. And again, it's a hard one to breathe into because it's not a normal shape of the body, but we're making it a new normal shape for the body. Knees in a little closer, everyone. Right, hugging energy in towards your midline. One more inhale. Woo, exhale, lower. Neutral position, rest. Exhale. Maybe you find your breath back into your lower spine. Then bend your knees, flex your feet, windshield wiper side to side. Little twist to neutralize. Bring your feet back up to the ceiling. Come back onto your forearms, Sphinx pose. Release your legs behind you. I promise this is the last one, forearm plank. It's good to integrate your belly muscles, the size of your ribs, all back into it. So one last forearm plank. Keep your jaw and your face relaxed. No need to get angry through your face. If it starts to feel challenging, you just fire up through your breath a little more. And you want to feel the push of the forearms down into the floor. Pull the elbows back towards the toes. One more breath in. Exhale, knees down. Whew. Good job. Hands are placed where your shoulders are. You're going to sit off to the side and come into a deer position. So the left shin is going to come parallel towards the top of your mat. The sole of the left foot onto your right thigh. Let me shake this way. There you go. So if you're looking at me, it's like you're looking in a mirror. Both ankles are firmly flexed. Again, that helps you protect your knees. Left arm is by your side. So bring your arm in like a kickstand. You're going to come onto your knees and shins. So you're just going to give a little press forward of your hips. Yep, and then exhale, sits bones back down, right arm down to your right foot. I'm going to do that a few times, just pressing forward. Exhale down. Now, if this bothers your knees in any way, just stay seated. If it feels all right and you have enough cushion, take it 2 more times. Just working a little bit into your hip socket. Feel free on this last one to stay up. Take your lifted arm, right arm into cactus. A little more opening in your pec muscles. Nice. One more breath in. Exhale, bring it down. Now, a little core awareness. Try not to use your hands. You're going to lean back onto your left bum. Bring your right leg forward. Come through a boat pose. Knees together, chest up. Yep. Good. And then other side. Right shin down. Try not to use your hands, right? It's body awareness. I know it's funky. So you're coming into that same pinwheel shape with your legs. Sole of the right foot on the top of the left thigh. Left foot's flexed behind. Right arm is your kickstand in by your side. You're going to come onto your knees and shins. On an inhale, come down on an exhale. Nice. And it's just as much lift as feels right for your body today. Exhale down. Okay, good. Again, good way to open the front panel of your body, or you can always just stay and let your hips feel relaxed. Last one, hold it up, bend through your left elbow, cactus your arm. Ooh. One more breath in. Exhale, bring it down. Again, try to not use your arms. Lean back onto your right bum. Take your feet out in front, boat pose. lift into your chest. So boat pose from the sides. You're trying to be on your sits bones. You can always bring your feet down. Let's come into canoe. Hover right above the floor. Good for your belly muscles, arms and legs. Lift it off the ground. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2. Elbows down, feet down, elbows down. Good. Fish pose. You're going to lift up through your chest. One of the only times I'm going to instruct you to drop your head back like this, extreme. Fish pose. Elbows under your shoulders. Feel that, ooh, bright lift in your chest. It might be a lot on your shoulders. Good. Puff your chest. Puff, puff, puff. Legs are completely down on the ground. One more breath in. Exhale. Widen your elbows. Come all the way onto your back. Lay it down. Ooh. Just pause when you get there. Hands can rest anywhere on your body or out to the side. Good. Bend your left knee, left foot to the floor. Pause. And then do the same with the right leg. Right knee bends, right foot down. Pause. Bring your heels in a little bit closer. Preparing for bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Feet are in or hips width distance, arms by your side. Start with your tailbone. Initiate the movement. A little tuck, a lift, pressing your hips, eyes straight up to the ceiling. And then you can clasp your hands, interlace your fingers underneath your bum, walk your upper arms closer together. Feel that bright space of opening in your chest. Bridge pose. So it's like you're putting your body in that small bridge shape. A little lift of your chin away from your chest. You'll feel a lot all the way from your earlobes, your neck, shoulders, chest, collarbones. Use your glutes, squeeze them together a little bit, elevate through your hips. One more big bright breath in. Exhale, lean to the left, release your right arm. Lean to the right, release your left arm, and slowly peel back down. Full contact spine to the floor. Revisiting bridge one more time. Feet in or hips width distance, feet making a number 11. Tuck your tailbone first. Initiate the movement from your hips and your lower spine. Then clasp your hands. Walk your upper arms together. Eyes straight up towards the ceiling. And a lot of breath. Relax your jaw. Feel free to close your eyes. Again, a really great posture to counteract our modern day living situations with phones and computers and cars and everything. One more breath in. Exhale, release the clasp of your hands, lean to one side, release the upper arm, lean to the opposite side, release, slowly peel it down. Take your feet as wide as the mat, bring your knees together, so you're knock-kneed in. Hands on your lower belly, close your eyes. See if you can still your physical body. Detect your heartbeat. And surrender your breath back to your body. Breathing is one of those mechanisms that we can choose to focus and control. But otherwise, the body takes over and does it for us automatically. So give the breath back to your body. Close your eyes. And then if there's any other movement, stretch, or posture you'd like to take, go ahead and take that for the next couple minutes, or moments really. So maybe a little bit more of a twist or a hamstring stretch. Otherwise, going to Shavasana, full relaxation on your back. Limbs on the ground, taking up as much space as you'd like. And don't hurry yourself to get there. Get there when you need to. And when you do work towards Shavasana, final resting shape, palms up towards the ceiling or sky, and feet flapping out to the sides. Take a conscious, long, extended exhale. And feel the weight of your skeleton drop into the floor. Do that as many times as you need. Surrender the weight of your physical body. Start to feel the weight of your muscles draping over your bones. And again, exhale and release. This is the most important posture of yoga. It helps you integrate all the other shapes that you did in today's practice on a cellular and nervous system level. We all need just a little bit more rest and ease in our lives. So just really accept this gift of rest for a few minutes. It's quiet. No need to even worry about your breath. Allow it to freely enter and exit your body. Start to listen to the sounds in the room around you. Begin to recognize the sound, pace, and pitch of my voice. And the first movement you'll take is that long, extended exhale again. Then begin to find a little bit of movement. A little bit of stretching, reaching, rolling of joints. Maybe even take that good morning stretch now that you've changed your body in a physical, cellular, and nervous system way. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Give them a good squeeze. Rock side to side on your back. Roll over onto your right side in the fetal position. And curl up. Take a couple breaths into your low spine. Some attention to your middle back. And some awareness towards your upper spine and your neck. When you're ready, press yourself up from your side into one final seated position. Hands at your heart, palms touching together. Sit up nice and tall. Notice the change in your body after this past hour. Notice the change in your breath pattern. Maybe there's been a shift in your mindset. We'll take 2 breaths all together, in through your nose, out through the mouth. One more. Thank you to each one of you for being here this morning. The light in me sees and honors light in each of you. Namaste. Again, thank you guys for spending the first part of maybe your day off here. Please take your time. I'm always around. I know all of you, so anything you ever want to chat about or was unclear or something you want to work on, just let me know. All right. Duncan, you can just stay in your meditative seat, but I'm going to probably pause the camera.